Hey guys, NarKotix here. Just thought I'd show you something really cool that I've come across recently and been speaking with the author of it and decided to become an authorized reseller. This little application that I'm about to show you is it's called Gunbot. And basically what Gunbot does, guys, is it automates your trading on Poloniex, Kraken or Bittrex. Now, if you don't know what all three of those are, they're a cryptocurrency trading site. So basically buying and selling bitcoins and other denominated coins to try and generate profit, basically. I'm not here to give you a rundown on what that is. If you're here, you're probably already well aware of it. So I'm going to show you this little application that Gunther's made, and I've already extracted it and opened it. Now on your first load, guys, you're going to see this little pop-up window, automatic load. It's imperative that on the first load you click no, because basically you haven't put any of your settings into it, and if you try and fire it up, it's going to cause you some problems. Now you'll notice over on the left hand side of the window that pops up, I'll just maximize it so you guys can see it a little better. You've got trading pairs, which market, your API key, your secret, and then a whole heap of other settings. So basically what you need to do is, depending on the market that you trade on, in this case it's Poloniex, you'll need to go through and add an API key. For those of you that don't know what an API key is, in your menu screens, guys, you'll be able to see API. By default it's disabled, so you'll need to go through and enable that. Once you enable it, it'll send you an email alert that says please confirm, so you'll need to go through and do that step as well, and then after that point you generate your API keys, and you'll also get email confirmations for those as well. Once you've got your API keys, you pop them into here, and there'll be associated secret keys that go in there as well. You'll need a license for Gunbot to be able to make these work. I can provide you a license, or you can go to Gunther direct, whatever you're most comfortable doing. And once those have been added into the generated pool, you'll be able to use Gunbot to start trading for you. Now up here you've got your two currency pairs, and in this case it's Bitcoin to Ethereum. Basically what that means is it'll be trading your Bitcoin balance for Ethereum when the appropriate conditions are met. Trading strategies, by default, guys, it's set to step gain, and step gain is probably one of the better options in here. You'll notice you have gain BB, which stands for Bollinger Band, step gain, and ping pong. Ping pong is a really good strategy if you've got a market that's fluctuating but only within 2 points, so its high and its low is very constant. At the moment, the way the market's going, there's very few pairs that you'll be able to trade with ping pong successfully, just due to the mass fluctuation that's going on with the value of Bitcoin and the other associated coins. Gain is basically just a standard, if the value of this coin drops by X, buy, and then if the value of that coin increases by X, sell. And that's just these two little settings here, guys, which is, gain 2%, sell. If it drops by 3%, buy. And this relates down to your EMA periods down in here, which by default are 0.02 and 0.04. But for the purposes of this demonstration, guys, we're going to use step gain, and step gain comes down into this section here. Basically what this is saying is, if percentage below or above the EMA, once again the EMA is down here, if it drops by 2%, buy it. If it continues to drop beyond 2% and gets to 5, buy at level 2, and if it continues to fall further than that, buy at level 3. And then in return, in the opposite side of it, guys, sell is if it increases by 2% from buy. So once the bot's bought coins for you, if it increases by 2%, it'll then sell it. If it's still increasing rapidly and gets to 5%, it'll sell at 5 instead. And in the cases of massive pumps on a coin, if it gets to 70%, it'll sell it there. Now these particular settings here, guys, once you get your head around using Gunbot, you'll be able to come up with some more definite strategies as to how you want to trade and what results you would like to see. Just to give you a quick example, on a coin that's rapidly moving, you could do something along the lines of this. On its buy, so if it drops by 0.1%, grab it. If it drops by 1%, grab it on a second level. If it drops by 5%, grab it on a level 3. And then to counteract that, you'd do something like 2, 5, and maybe 10 if the coin was going to fluctuate that much. And that would be a very, very aggressive setting, guys. I wouldn't recommend using that until you're well and truly familiar with what you're doing and what pairs you're trading on. Because that can, land you in some rather deep water. But that would be an exceptionally aggressive trading method on a coin that's rising and falling quite rapidly. You can make some decent profits like that, but I would suggest sticking with the defaults until you get your head around what's going on with Gunbot, how it works, and how it reacts with the market that you're actually looking at. But basically that's the little explanation for those. Now the other big thing before you fire it up is your maximum balance to trade. So basically what this says is I want to trade this much per pair. Now what Gunbot will do is if the price falls by 2% on ETH, in this case for our example, it will then buy 0.01 BTC of ETH, and that's what it invests in. So whatever the market works out to be at that particular point in time, it will buy that quantity of ETH worth in BTC. Now the little one below this is called security margin. Now this can be useful and it can also be quite dangerous depending on how you configure it. The security margin basically says if the coin falls by this much, sell it. And that's if a coin was dumping rather hardly and drops by say 50 or 60% and you've invested in it with the bot, or you've bought it manually, or whatever situation you find yourself in. If it drops by 60% in this case, it will immediately list a sell and try and get rid of it. So the way this can get you into trouble, guys, is if you're trading really close, like 10% or 5% to what you bought it at, and you've got a really volatile coin that you're trading on, you could buy at X value, it then drops by 5%, Gunbot will sell it because you told it to. And then if it continues if it falls, say if we're still on the 0.1 strategy in the buy, if it falls by another 0.1, it will buy again, and then if it falls by another 5%, it will sell again. So you're going to be constantly selling at a loss if your security margin is too close to what you're buying and selling at. So this is kind of a security blanket so that you don't lose all your coins on a bad investment. However, you need to be very careful about what you put in there. Purely because if you make it too close, you're going to lose money. That's a big warning, guys. You need to listen to that one. The default of that is 60. 60 is rather safe, which means that you're going to lose over half if that coin drops. I haven't seen it happen in my time of trading yet, guys, but look, who's to say what the future holds? But I really don't think it's going to be a reality anytime soon. So that security margin 60. I generally set it a little bit lower, just purely because I don't like carrying bags too often. Some of you are out there probably going, what's a bag, Nark? Well, a bag is if you buy a coin and it continues to fall and then resettles at a lower average trading, you're basically left with some coins that you've bought at a much higher level than the market rate exists at. So that will generally put you into a position where you need to either accept that if you hold the coins, you're not going to make any profit on them until the market rises, or make the decision to sell the coin at a loss and then let Gunbot recover that for you over a period of time, depending on the quantity and volume that you're trading at. But anyway, guys, once you've got all of that set up, you'll notice I haven't put in an API or a secret key. Those are pretty self-explanatory. But once all of that's configured, hit your save button over here, right, and that'll say save settings for BTCF. And what that actually does is actually creates this little worker and config.js file here. so that the next time you load it, you don't have to go through and manually configure those options every time you start it. You can basically go straight into the bot, wherever it went. There it is there. You can go straight into the bot and basically go load, go and find your appropriate settings and load it up. Now, once you've got those loaded up, everything's ready to go, you've checked everything, you're happy, start. And then what that'll do is that'll open up two windows here. I can't show you that at the moment, guys, because I don't have an API and a secret key put in, nor a balance to trade with, so I can't actually show you that fired up. But if you click that, it will then go through. It's going to spit out a whole heap of errors at the moment, purely because I don't have licenses. Now, if you see this, guys, and you've provided API keys, this one down here that says invalid license, please contact Gunther. If you buy the bot from me, being an authorized reseller, I can communicate with Gunther on your behalf, or you can go straight to him. All of that information will be provided once you make the decision to purchase a bot. But don't panic. All of these kind of things can be resolved quite easily. It could be just a matter of a typo or whatnot if you've provided the keys and they've been added to the pool, or you might not have provided it yet, and if that's the case, just provide the keys. We'll go through, double check, make sure everything's in place and correct, and then basically this won't pop up and you should be able to start trading. It's a good idea to not invest all of your eggs in one basket, guys. So rather than just having BTCF, you'll have a whole heap of pairs that you decide to trade on. I know that there's people currently running 50 plus pairs over multiple exchanges and doing quite well over that, and I believe that their strategy is many pairs, smaller profits that add up to a bigger gain at the end of a week, month, whatever their time periods are. Whereas if you're investing a lot of Bitcoin or your balance into, say, 5 or 6 coins, you've got a very big sum of your portfolio being invested in a small range of what's actually out there. And if you do get caught up with bags or the market shifts, you're going to be left holding a lot of your portfolio balance in one coin that is going to end up preventing you from making profits. I'm not going to say it's going to lose you profits, but it will prevent you from making extra profits in the time that you need to hold those. But anyway, guys, that's a little intro. Actually, I might just quickly step over Bollinger Band. So if you were BB trading, Bollinger Band comes down into here where you've got your low BB 25 or your high BB 25. I don't know whether many of you understand what a Bollinger Band is. I might just quickly open up Polo and show you. Polo's being a little bit slow at the moment, but I'll let that load up. Here we go, I'll drag it over here. Okay, so you see this blue line up the top here, guys, and the other blue line down the bottom here. Those are what we call Bollinger Bands. Now, you can see it's flared right out and dropped over here. They're generated from the trend of the coin. So basically, if the coin's trading strong and going up and up and up, the Bollinger Bands change according to how the coin's trading. So you'll see here with the little blue line that's running down here, you'll see that it's actually been trading below the Bollinger Band just here, and that was probably due to the fluctuation in the value of Bitcoin. Now, setting the Bollinger Band to 25% low, 25% high, which is the default settings, it means it's going to buy 25% of the Bollinger Band towards where it's trading, and it's going to sell 25% to the top of the Bollinger Band. So if we had the bot running on this particular example, the bot would have purchased somewhere in around here. Still hasn't got close enough to the Bollinger Band up here to do an accurate sell, but when it gets down to around these points here, guys, you'll see the little candlestick that actually trails up there. That would probably trigger a sell within the bot. So you'll be actually making, you know, a good few percent on what you put in between those two values. A lot of people ask questions, can you use a negative value in that Bollinger Band? And the answer is yes, guys. If you put in a negative value, these here would all be negative values, and these possibly like -30. But keep in mind, if you're buying at a negative value, you're going to need the market to drop severely before you'll see any action from your bot buying at all, because it's operating outside of those particular bands. And if you have a negative value on your sell, it's going to want to sell well and truly above these lines up here. So running on negative values on Bollinger Band, guys, is going to be a very slow process, but look, you could make yourself an absolute killing if the market trends that way, purely because you'll be trading well below and well above the Bollinger Bands to generate a lot of profit. But the likelihood of that happening is probably quite low. This one probably won't trade outside the Bollinger Band for a good few hours. As you can see, I'm using 30-minute candles at the moment on here, guys. So, you know, we're looking at almost 24, maybe 48 hours since this has actually happened. So you'll be holding those coins for a couple of days, running on a negative Bollinger to sell up around here somewhere. But yeah, look, that'll be enough for me at the moment, guys. I'll sign out. I'm probably going to make a whole heap more videos to go through and help you guys understand what Gunbot does in relation to Poloniex and Kraken and Bittrex. I don't use the latter two at the moment, but I probably will open an account just to do some demonstrations to help you guys out with the configuration and whatnot. I'll provide some links down the bottom, guys, so that you can either A, get in contact with me, B, if you want to buy a bot, I can put you straight in contact with Gunther or myself to coordinate that for you. I'll put some links in there to what is Bitcoin. There's a lot of people I encounter that don't even know what Bitcoins are. They've heard of them, but they really don't know what they are. But look, if you're here and you're at this point in the video right now, you're probably well aware of what a Bitcoin is, and you're considering or are currently trading on one of the exchanges available, and you would probably understand that trading on those markets manually will absorb a lot of your time monitoring graphs, working out what's going on with the market, and choosing the appropriate points to buy and sell. That's the main purpose of Gunbot, guys. It automates that process for you. You don't have to spend hours on end anymore watching the market and determining what's good and bad to buy, and what's happening with news and this, that and the other. It all does still play a minor part, and you can keep yourself up to date with a lot of it. However, you don't need to keep your finger on the pulse 100% of the time, because basically Gunbot will do all of the monitoring for you, and it will make the decisions of when to buy and when not to buy, which coordinate with the settings that you feed it. I'll make a couple more videos on some decent settings that might help a few of you get along and trade. But look, in the interim, guys, if you're interested, get hold of me. I'm happy to talk to anyone about any questions that they may have. At the end of the day, I'm only reselling this on behalf of Gunther. Gunther's done an amazing job building this thing. I've seen some of the back end work on it, and there is a lot of time and effort involved and invested in actually building this thing. So look, guys, would love to hear from you. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're feeling really generous, I'll add a donation link down the bottom. I will not say no to donations, guys. I love them. They're great and they help me keep trading. But look, till the next video, guys, take care and happy trading.